I think I'm live. I just need to not keep touching this. I'm gonna give it a few minutes before I get started. So, welcome. This is live conversation with Lizette. Hi everyone, I'm Lizette Zuno, and I think I started this about 2 to 3 weeks ago while we were all in quarantine in most states. Has been open now, so we might not be in quarantine anymore, but I thought the conversation has been juicy, so I wanted to keep it going for the month of May. So happy new month of May to you all. Thank you for joining. Please share when you get an opportunity to join. And I need to stop touching the screen, otherwise my camera is gonna fall, so that's not gonna be fun. All right, so as you guys are joining, I hope you have been having some safe time, and quiet time, and you have been healthy through this whole ordeal of COVID-19. Most state has started reopening, so I'm sure everybody's eager to go out there and get their life back on. So today's conversation is going to be really appropriate for that, in the fact that we are all excited to get back out there. But our health, the reason why we found ourselves actually quarantined was because of a major pandemic, a respiratory disease, a virus that was attacking people lung and respiratory disease. So it made me think after last week when we talked about embracing change through this tumultuous time. And I want to thank everybody that sent me awesome feedback. Because of your feedback, I'm trying not to be on multiple devices at the same time. I'm trying not to touch the screen too much, so I appreciate all your feedback. And for those that was able to share the video, I also appreciate it. For those that were able to watch it later, I appreciate it. So thank you. Today's conversation is going to be about how our health matter. Our health is our wealth. Okay, so I'm gonna give it a few minutes and get it started. But a couple of facts that I wanted to share. I personally have been myself for about 8 years, and this week we celebrate our 8-year anniversary. So health is something that I take really personally, something that it's always around me. I'm always researching, I'm always interested in knowing a lot more about our health as a woman, but mostly all those are diseases that really frighten women life. I also had an opportunity 3 years ago, or the past 3 years until last year, to work for the American Heart Association. So that gave me some understanding of also heart disease and how that affects women. So couple of facts that I wanted to share before we get started is number one, breast cancer is one more dire when we start talking about women especially. And I'm not even going to get into specific about African American as well, because it's even more critical for African American, but I think it's already critical. Now let's talk about joint and arthritis. 22% of the population will have arthritis. 80% of adults will experience lower back pain in their lifetime. 80% of adults, men and women. 20% of them will have a short-term pain in their back and take medication for it. Okay. More about a stroke is the second most common cause of death worldwide. Okay, and what causes stroke is usually high blood pressure, cholesterol, family history. Stroke is number 5 cause of death. 80% of the stroke can be preventable. So anything that is related to high blood pressure, cholesterol, family history, all that can be preventable. And that is really the good news when you think about all this that statistic that I just shared, but I wanted to set the stage about the statistic because this is real. And throughout this whole pandemic, we found out the pandemic started because they were telling us it's really for people that have underlying diseases. What do we call underlying diseases? It's really high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, asthma, sinus, I said diabetes already, and anybody that have any history of cancer, mostly. So most cancer, let's say breast cancer, lung cancer, colon cancer, pancreatic, all those multiple brain cancer. Anybody that have very immune system that have been destabilized by any of these diseases in the past. So when you look at it and you look at the statistic, then you're like, okay, this is not just old people kind of situation. And as the event has happening in the pandemic, we realized that it was just not for older people. It's really for anybody or most people that might have any underlying diseases. So for us women, we are notorious, okay? And I'm gonna share a couple of good example about myself, right? Because what I want to do with this live conversation with Lizette is not tell a story about somebody that is out there. It's really tell a personal story about me and what I've been through, because I think when you have been through something, you have more leverage to share your story, and you have more information and lesson that you can share, right? So personal experience. When I had my first baby, my first daughter 9 years ago, I never knew anything about high blood pressure. When the doctor asked me, do you have high blood pressure? I said no. Do you have family history about it? I said nope, I don't think my parents have high blood pressure. Well, I went through the pregnancy, my feet swollen. Some of you might remember I literally could not wear only one pair of shoes the whole 9 months. I was having inflammation the whole time. It was summertime, obviously. So I discovered that I had high blood pressure issue. And while I was talking to both of my parents, I realized that both of them have high blood pressure and they have been taking medication for years. This was shocking to me that I didn't even know. So I went through that, and I successfully had the baby. I didn't went through chlamydia, but I had the baby. And during that pregnancy also, I had gestational diabetes. All of these are conditions that might happen to you in the future, but they show up a little bit more when you are pregnant, because when you're pregnant, your immune system is a little bit unstable, right? Because you're holding a baby. So those show up when I was pregnant of my first child, my daughter. I also had surgery, so I came out of it, and then through diet and regular exercise, I reversed all the number back within 2 to 3 years, and I was doing great. But then I was getting ready to have a second baby, so I wanted to now get back into the marketplace of having a baby, right? So when I got back into the marketplace, or got back into the street of having a baby, I was shocked to realize that there was so many other things going on with my body. I had fibroid, deep fibroid of a size of a cantaloupe. This is real story. Size of a cantaloupe. If you know me, I am 5'1", so having a cantaloupe in my stomach is a huge deal. A size of cantaloupe will not allow you to have a true baby in your stomach, so I had to go through that process and have another surgery. Mind you, my first baby that I had was a C-section baby. So by second surgery now, you are having some deep back pain. You read earlier about how many people have back pain. A lot of people have back pain, and they take regular pain medication. Those pain medication can have deep impact on your immune system in your body in the long run. I had back pain. I notoriously just take my little ibuprofen all the time, and I just got used to my back pain after my second surgery. So had the second surgery, which was almost similar to having another baby. Then that went well. But throughout this whole time, if you know me and you ever slept in a room with me, I didn't say slept with me, I said slept in a room with me. If you and I ever share a bed, you will be disappointed. I'm a very nice lady, but at night I can be very noisy. And a couple of you, I remember 3 stories. The first story was I was in Vegas with my friend while I was pregnant, actually, so it even made it worse. Why? And when she woke up the whole weekend, she was talking about my sleep. She was like, "Oh my God, you were bad. You were bad." My husband of almost 10 years or 12 years that we've been living together has been complaining that I need to do something about it. My sleep is not good. He's very worried for me. But I always look like, oh my God, I just have sinus. So sinus was also part of in the mix of things that I was dealing with. My sinus is so chronic, or was so chronic, to a point where 10 years ago I had a manager, and every 4 to 5 weeks I always have to call in and say I have a really bad sinus, I have to be home today. So one day he just told me, how about you just do a surgery? First he told me take a shot. I said, oh no, I don't do a shot. I'm a black woman, I don't do a shot. Okay, so he's like, okay Lisa, you don't do a shot, how about you do a surgery? I said, I don't do surgery either. All I know is everybody that I know have sinus. I've had sinus all my life and I'm fine with it. So I'm going to keep my sinus going. But then I realized from that moment that every job that I have, at least in 4 to 5 to 6 weeks, I always have to stay home 1 or 2 days to deal with my sinus, because it's so horrible when I start sneezing and dealing with the whole sinus for days. And my sinus is triggered by anything. It's not the cold, it's not the heat, it's all of them together. It's the pollen. I've done all kind of tests, blood tests, allergy tests, CT scan, everything. And the only solution that I was told would be to do a surgery called balloon sinuplosis. I can't say the word right, but balloon sinus surgery. So that was like 4 years ago, or even I would say 10 years ago. But I kept doing my research, thinking about it, but I was like, well, it doesn't kill me, I'm good, I'm living. And the second story is my husband kept asking me, do it. I was like, no, I'm not doing it, because in my culture, or in the way that I was raised, you don't just go to the hospital when you're fine. You only go to the hospital when you're really not fine. So I didn't see myself just going to the hospital for something that I can live with, pretty much. So fast forward, second time around, I needed to get pregnant, and I went through that. That's another video story, a fertility battle, and I got pregnant. I'm on the delivery room, getting ready to deliver the baby. They check my blood pressure. My blood pressure is ultra high. Okay, shocking again. So now the doctor are prepping all the important things that they can think of to make sure that this baby come out successfully, and the mother is also taken care of and come out alive. So after the baby was delivered, I think the anesthesia came out of my system a little bit early, or I was sleeping so deeply, but I could hear the doctor somehow. And I heard the doctor asking my husband, is that how she sounds when she's sleeping? And he's like, oh yeah, that's how she sounds. And the doctor was like, that's bad, she need to do something about it. I was not deeply sleeping, I heard everything. He said, she need to do something about it, definitely, otherwise you can lose her. I heard it in the joyful moment of, oh, baby came out, while I was being sewn back in and putting everything back in on the delivery desk, on the bed. The doctor was urging me to do something about my sinus, my chronic sinus, that was impacting my sleep, giving me almost sleep apnea. I also realized a couple of years ago that after I bought, that's my third story, after I bought a watch for me and my friends so we can check our sleep schedule and check out exercise and whatnot. One day I asked my friend, let me check your sleep schedule. So we put it up on the computer on the little iPad, and his sleep was normal, but mine was not normal. Mine had so many change and up and down in it, meaning that when I'm sleeping in the middle of the night, I'm actually not sleeping because I can't breathe. So every time that I'm supposed to gasp for air and try to breathe, I'm waking up. So I can sleep for 6 to 7 hours, but when I come out, my sleep number show me that my sleep study show me that I only sleep for 2 hours. No wonder I'm always tired. No wonder I'm always saying I'm tired, because I go to bed not only late, so I'm having like a 6 hours time in bed, but my body's actually behaving like I only slept for 2 hours because I'm always gasping for air. So that was also an eye-opening. So between that, all the fact that I already knew about, and the doctor telling me in my delivery room bed that I need to do something about it, I decided to do something about it. So right after I delivered the baby, I scheduled this balloon sinus surgery that I researched about it 10 or 15 years ago, and I've been seeing so many of my friends on Facebook, mostly Caucasian women, doing that surgery and asking, softly comment, how did you like it, how did you feel? And it seems like it's not that bad. So I mustered a little bit of courage, and even I'll tell you, even my own mother did not encourage me. When I told my mother I was going to do a surgery on my nose, she's like, oh no, please don't. I was like, no, I have to do it. The doctor asked me to do it. She's like, okay, you're an adult. If you feel like you need to do it, go ahead and do it. Just to tell you culturally how we are. So I went ahead, mustered my courage, called my best friend to take me to the surgery that day. And I show up there. Everything was already planned. In less than 30 minutes, I was in and out. Surgery was done. They crack some nose up in here in my nose. They crack some bone up in here in my nose. Open some airspace, and bang, it was done. I can breathe. I can sleep better. I don't have sinus issue. If I have any sinus issue, it's just based on whatever is going on outside, but not because of I can't breathe. Literally in a year, I have not taken a major sinus medication, no more than any regular person that I know. Otherwise, before, I will be in the Mucinex, in the Sudafed, in the antibiotic, all of them. All I just did this whole year was taking Claritin for allergy, and it doesn't even attack me. I just took it as a preventive. The reason I'm telling you this story is twofold. One, because us, mostly, I would say, Black women, based on our culture, we don't want to take care of ourselves unless, and statistic has shown, I mean, the fact is right here. We only show up, and I've also seen it in both organizations that I've worked in, the heart disease organization, and also in my non-profit organization, Disco for the Cure, that women, African American women, Black women, women of color, show up at the doctor when the disease is already in worst case situation. Men usually do that. Women are definitely encouraged. They encourage their family member, their kids, they get the doctor appointment on lock. Their husband, doctor appointment. Parent, they're on top of it. But they, for their own health, they are it's always taking the back seat. And what I really want to encourage you, and the reason why we're talking about this today, is we gotta take our health as a primary seat. It's like in the airplane, they say you put the mask on first before you can put the mask on for other people. Your health is your wealth. In this whole pandemic, everybody has been talking about how they lost so much money, and I know people lost money, or I lost money too. I mean, I lost plenty of money. We all lost something. Folks lost job, people lost money, people lost their livelihood, they're afraid, they're anxious, you know, they're scared of change. But one thing is The reason why you complain about all that is because you're still alive, right? Right? And I have to tell you that I'm so grateful that I went ahead and did that sinus last year, because I mean, come on, with this COVID-19, you don't even know how it gets people, let alone what somebody that have a chronic sinus infection, what will happen to that person, like me, right? So while you're still here, please take care of yourself. As far as your wealth, when you are alive, you can make up all those money again like this. You can always make up everything that you lost. With time, you will gain everything back. I believe in that thoroughly. So let's forget about, we're losing money, but let's think about our health. And I'm gonna close by saying, for everybody that's super excited to go out there and start making money and living, I think this pandemic, if it has taught us anything, is to really focus on our health. A couple of things that I have been doing and I want to continue doing is, for us women, we always worry about our weight. See, this whole conversation, I didn't say anything about weight until now, right? Because the weight is not really the issue. It's being healthy. That's how I'm looking at it this time. So know your number, right? Know your number. Know your blood pressure number. Know your HDL. Know your diabetes. Know how your sugar level is. Do you have diabetes? Know your family history. Even that will help you situate yourself. Okay. Know any lingering disease that you have. Know your family history, and try to do whatever you can to revert your family history. Know your blood type. Know the kind of food that you should eat to help you based on your blood type. There's a lot of research out there that there's certain food will make you feel better. I particularly am not a fan of meat. My family, I cook meat for them, but I'm not a fan of chicken nor beef. I love lamb and fish and vegetable and fruit. So and exercise is definitely appropriate and suggested, but know your number, know where you are, and try to walk toward getting better. And every day is a struggle, but know your number and trying to walk toward getting better every day. So that's my message today. Thank you again for tuning in this Saturday again, and I hope this message has been inspiring and helpful to you to look within of anything. I gave you all the stuff here. If it's back pain that you have, get into fixing it, because anything that you have, it's gonna cripple you to live your best life, to live your best self. I walk around for like almost 30 years of my life having sinus. So many things that I have missed. I literally missed a half marathon that I pay good money for, and I was looking for it because it was in a beautiful garden that I've been dreaming about running this garden for years. But I missed it that day because the night before I had like a sinus. I could not sleep, I could not breathe, and I knew if I go out there in the garden, it will trigger the most sinus that I've ever had. So I didn't go. So because of health, there's so many things you can miss. So take care of yourself and join me again next Saturday to talk about finding your purpose. You've heard people talk about purpose, passion. How do you find your purpose? And that's something that I want to unpack a little bit. And what are the steps for you to really find your purpose and live your best life? All right, thank you. It was me, Lisette Zunon, with live conversation. I hope you tune in again next Saturday. Thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay blessed. Bye.